Episode 13, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold wasn't even in Predator 2.
So what?
So you can't have him on this list. This is an Arnold list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Idiot.
Disqualified. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of 5 to 1, the best hour of your day and the best list podcast with the most muscles. 5 to 1 is all about the countdown from our panel of experts on a different topic each week. Today we are featuring the best things Arnold Schwarzenegger has ever done and our style of counting down from 5 to 1. So today we are talking about all things Arnold. I am your host, Chris Nadatuma. And I am joined by my two muscular sons, my 12-year-old, you are one ugly mother Cater, and my 9-year-old, Jet to the Chopper!
That's dumb.
I thought that one was good.
The last one was the best. Yours.
No, it isn't.
What about Chris Nadatuma?
We both haven't seen that movie.
I know, but you know the line.
I've seen like a little part of it.
Come on, I thought these were good ones this week.
Not really.
I thought they were good.
I only think one is good.
Which one?
Cade's.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really sound like the other word. Cater does not sound like effer.
Get to the... What?
Jet to the Chopper!
Jet?
Because it sounds like get.
Get, jet, they rhyme.
And Chris Nadatuma. It's not a tumor. It sounds the same, right?
Oh, whatever.
Okay, whatever. So, where does Arnold rank for you guys in terms of favorite actors?
1.
Okay, Jet's number 1. What about you, Kate?
2.
2. Who's your number 1 then?
Harrison Ford, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I don't think Arnold's in my, top list at all, but I do really love him as an 80s action movie guy. There's not many better.
All right, so this is not part of the podcast. I'm just going to announce, I've been talking to it about Dad. I've just started watching Walking Dead.
Yeah, we binge watched season 1 yesterday because you're going to be Daryl Dixon for Halloween because you dig his vest with the wings on the back.
Yeah.
And he looks cool and you've got his hair already.
Yeah.
So you'd already seen a little bit of Walking Dead a long time ago with me. But
yeah, it's episode 1.
But you've been binge watching season 1 now, right? And we did that yesterday and now you're on to season 2?
Episode 4.
So if we were to go back and modify our best 5 to 1 live action TV shows, where would you put Walking Dead now that you are, halfway through season 2?
I mean, it's either 2 or 1. It's hard to replace Stranger Things, but...
Yeah, I hear you. See, Walking Dead for me was an honorable mention, but I really considered putting it on my list. It's a great show.
Do you think you wouldn't put Walking Dead on your list, but you just wanted to do something different?
No, the shows on my list, I love those shows, and I couldn't knock any of them out. It was a tough call.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get ready for this show. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, Kate, you going to lead us off with your number 5?
Yes.
All right, what you got?
I had trouble choosing number 5 because I was running out of options. So I just said Kindergarten Cop because I've seen little bits of it.
You haven't seen the whole thing.
I know, but I've seen little bits of it and I already like it.
It's a funny movie. See, Arnold, I told you, for me, 80s action movies, he's at the top of the pyramid. When it's not 80s action, he is not a great actor, so it's hard to buy his role. But Kindergarten Cop is one of those movies where I did kind of buy it. So, Jet, just to give you an idea, he's like a police officer or something, and he goes undercover as a kindergarten teacher because they're trying to catch this mega drug dealer whose son goes to that school. So he plays a teacher, and he has no idea how to deal with kids. And it's funny, and it's more of a comedy movie. And at one point in the movie, one of the kids who's really annoying, he's looking at Arnold, and Arnold's got a headache, and he goes, "Maybe it's a tumor," and he goes, "It's not a tumor." That's where that line came from.
But okay, this is a funny movie, Kate. But there's 5 Terminators. You've seen all 5, and
I put Terminator as one choice.
Yeah. See, you could have done it, but it would have made for a really boring list if it was Terminator 3, Terminator 4, Terminator 1, Terminator 2.
I have, what's it called? I have 2 Terminators.
That's
on my
fine,
list.
because
Only
there are
2.
2 that are great, absolute all-time movies, so I get that.
And the other 3, they're really good, but they're not even compared to the...
But it sounds like Cade put
other 2.
Terminator as just one entry together on his list, and that's fine. There's no rules. You can do it how you want. And you can criticize it, Jet, like you usually do.
You criticize your head.
So am I going second, Jet, or you?
I'll go
Jet's
second.
going second.
Okay. What's your number 5?
Total Recall.
Get your ass to Moss.
Could you guys hear that?
Not really.
I could.
Get your ass to Moss.
That's a line from the movie. Can you hear it?
All right, so
Get your ass to Moss.
this might have been. I mean, this movie, I love it, but I can't really say much about it because it was a long time ago.
Can you say this?
Get your ass to Moss.
I've heard it a million times, but
You've heard what a million times? This?
Get your ass to Moss.
I wish I could say it, but I can't.
Cade might at school and then get detention.
It was a lunch detention, not an actual detention.
And it was a
okay?
much worse word than ass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But so why is it your number 5, Jet? Why do you like this movie?
Because I don't really remember that much, but I remember me like loving that movie, and I remember it's really brutal. Also,
A lot of shooting, a lot of killing in that movie, like a
I
ton.
like when they're on the escalator and then like Arnold like grabs 2 guys and he's holding him like on his back and they're all shooting them and they're all using
They're, like,
human
using
body
them as
shields.
shields.
And everyone's like on the escalator is like, what do I do? I'm in the middle of this. Like,
I like the part when he's trying to get through security and he's wearing that mask of the like the
Yeah.
kind of fat woman, and the mask starts like malfunctioning and not working, and it just looks really freaky, and then they find out it's him.
yeah.
which part I remember I used to be scared of is when I think it was Mars, that burning planet, and
Get your ass to Moss.
and you could see them and their eyes are like coming
Popping out, yeah,
It's
because
disgusting.
if they go outside without their helmet, like there's no oxygen, so it sucks out their eyes.
Yeah,
from
it's-
the-
Oh, I forgot to say that Total Recall is my number 3 on my list.
Oh, okay. I have it as an honorable mention. Why is it your number 3, Cade?
I love it. And, you know, at the time I was into really brutal things like Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, sorta.
Did they do a remake of Total Recall?
Yeah, they did. They had one with not Arnold Schwarzenegger, some
did
random
they?
guy. Yeah, they did. Remember? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I saw ads. We never got to saw, but we were like, "Oh, let's go see this. Let's go see this," and then we never saw it.
no,
so.
I don't know.
I know
Yeah.
they did for
I
RoboCop,
don't
which is not an
remember.
Arnold movie.
Yeah,
I
they did one
can't
for Total
remember.
Recall. It was like some random actor did
Okay.
it. So I don't know, but
Well,
it's not the
regardless,
same.
it's not nearly as good as the first one. It rarely is when they do these remakes.
And that was such an overkill death at the end, like how the main bad guy died.
How did he die?
They got pushed outside the room onto Mars is like red onto Mars.
Yeah.
And his eyes start going out and his skin starts like I don't know, but it was gruesome.
I thought he died on the elevator.
I can't remember, honestly. It's been too long since I've seen that movie. Okay, well, I had it as an honorable mention. The only reason it didn't make my top 5 is because I wanted to get not all action movies. I have a little bit of variety in here, which brings me to my number 5, which is Twins. Have you guys heard of Twins?
No.
Okay, it came out in, I think, 86 or 88 or sometime around then.
Probably not 86 because that's when Predator came out.
Yeah, maybe it was 88. But he plays, it's a comedy movie, and he plays alongside Danny DeVito, who is the actor who is the Penguin. You guys know him, right? Real short,
Yeah.
kind of chubby. And guess what? In the movie, they are twins, which
How?
it's like a science experiment type thing where they were trying to make like, I don't know, super genetically enhanced people, and Arnold got all of those genes, and his twin Danny was like the leftover part that nobody wanted, and they didn't know they grew up apart from each other and then found each other later in life. And it's a comedy movie with a little bit of action, and the reason I liked it is because I think it was actually the first Arnold movie that I ever saw, because it came out when I was a kid, and it was kid appropriate for the most part. I couldn't watch Terminator yet at that age,
Yeah.
and Terminator 2 hadn't even come out yet.
I thought Terminator 1 was like 3.
Yeah, oh yeah. But by that point, Terminator 2 was a classic that like everybody had seen. When I was a kid, it wasn't even out yet. His only movies were like the first Terminator, which was great, but it wasn't a big blockbuster hit, and Commando, which is like super action shoot 'em up movie, and I wasn't going to watch that at a young age, and a few others. But Twins I could see, and I loved it. And in my mind, I think I never thought about this consciously, but in my mind, I pictured that's what Arnold was really like in America. Like he's from another country. He was super nice and just like awesome person who just happened to be extremely built. And that's how I pictured him being in real life. So I think that's why I kind of latched onto that movie. And it's one of the few roles like Kindergarten Cop where he's not in an action movie, but he still pulls it off. So
Yeah.
my number 5 is Twins.
Twins.
All right, Cade, what do you got for number 4?
My number 4 is, I was looking at the wrong list. I was about to say Thanksgiving, but my is about him. This isn't like movie wise or anything, but that he's like super strong and that like enhances his character a little bit. Like if I see an action movie and the main character is like not that built, he's like even if he's like skinny, like I don't like it. It fits more of his role and everything since he's a bodybuilding champ.
But what if it's like a nerd movie?
Well, he said an action movie.
Action movies, like.
Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. I kind of have that as my number 3. I'll save it for when I get there.
What? I don't get his number.
He's saying one of the 5 best things that Arnold Schwarzenegger has ever done is his bodybuilding, right? So he fits these action roles in movies so well because of his physical presence that he carries onto the screen.
Mine is just all movies.
That's fine. His number 4 is not. So, yeah, I get it. That's kind of my number 3, but I'll save it. Good choice. All right, Jet, what's your number 4?
Terminator 1.
Terminator 1.
Are you going to play something for it?
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
Was that okay?
Yeah. It's not nearly as popular as it was in number 2, though.
Yeah, but it was a great movie. Tell me why you liked it.
I liked it a lot because, like, it's kind of the first Terminator movie I actually saw. Not Terminator, Arnold movie. And, like, it's also because, like, I get to see Kyle, and Kyle's one of my favorite characters in Terminator ever.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil number 5, but
Kyle Reese, you're talking about?
yeah, he's awesome, and I really like one of my favorite parts is when Arnold's walking towards them, and then he blows up, and you can see what the Terminator actually looks like.
Like their metal skeleton.
Yeah.
And who says this?
Come with me if you want to live.
Kyle
Reese, yeah. So Kyle Reese is John Connor's father, which is weird because in the future, John Connor is Kyle Reese's like boss, and Kyle Reese doesn't even know he's his dad, and it's the whole time travel thing. Yeah. Terminator 1 was a very like low budget movie. An interesting thing about Terminator 1 is they actually, I think I wrote this down. They wanted to pick O.J. Simpson. Do you guys know who O.J. Simpson is?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Wait, yeah.
Famous running back. He won the Heisman Trophy at USC.
Isn't he like a jerk?
Yeah, he is. But back then,
I know
he
him.
was an American icon. People loved him. He was a great football player. He was in movies. He did those Naked Gun movies, which were comedy movies. And he was just known as an all-around great person. He had a great NFL career, too. One of the best running backs of all time. And he was like beloved. So they wanted to cast him in the role to play the Terminator in the very first movie. But the director, who's James Cameron, he pointed out that nobody would believe OJ as a remorseless killer, like what you had to be to play the Terminator. Yeah. Well, that was a huge mistake because later OJ Simpson killed his ex-wife and he was found not guilty in a court of law, but everybody knew he did it. And
is he in jail right now?
He is in jail. I believe he's right now. Yeah, he went for something else, but it was kind of like payback that they gave him a very big penalty for whatever he did because of the fact that he got away with murder.
What's it called? What did he do the second time?
It had something to do with somebody like had either stolen or gotten a hold of some of his memorabilia from his playing days, sports memorabilia, and he wanted it back and like broke into their place and threatened people or something. So then he got arrested and they gave him a very, very, very harsh penalty for it. And it was kind of like saying, well, listen, you got away with murder the first time. We're not going to give you an easy penalty for this one. So I think he got the max sentence you can get. But I thought it was funny because they didn't cast him because nobody would believe him being a remorseless killer. And then later in life, he, slits his ex-wife's throat. So kind of nuts. Great movie though. It was low budget. But it kind of became what they call like a cult classic, and then the follow-on Terminator 2 was like mega blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay, so what's next? My number 4?
Yes.
Okay, I picked another it's kind of an action movie, but it's not your typical Arnold action movie. It's called True Lies. Have you guys heard of this one?
No.
Oh, you should probably watch this one, Jet. I think you would like this one especially. He plays a spy, an American spy who works like, I don't know if it's like CIA or FBI or whatever, but he's undercover a lot of the time, almost like kind of like a Mission Impossible type movie, but with more comedy. And he's badass in it, even though it's not his typical action film. It's just a fun movie from start to finish. And And I like I said, I wanted to include some of his movies that aren't strictly action. So if I picked my 5 favorite, this wouldn't have made my list. This would have been an honorable mention. I probably would have put Total Recall in over this one. But it's a good enough movie for this, and I think it's different, and that's why I included it on my list.
Okay.
All right, Cade, what's your number 3?
I'm still reading off the wrong list. I was about to say The Arrow, but
That's even longer ago.
yeah. My number 3 is Total Recall. We already kind of went over this.
Okay.
So
Get your ass to Moss.
Okay, so
come on.
Jet, what's your number 3?
Predator.
Oh yeah, here we go.
You one ugly mother.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Jet, which one did you just say?
You one ugly mother.
Trucker.
Man, it's not playing. I have that one. Maybe because it's a wave and not an MP3. Let me try this one. Hold on. Oh, those aren't working. All right, never mind. The only one I have is the Get to the Chopper. But at least it plays the little Predator noise at the beginning, too.
Yeah, that's in my left earphone. That's really killing me.
Okay, so why'd you pick Predator for your number 3?
All right, Predator, I think it's such a classic. It was made in 1986, and they have it in Mortal Kombat 10, which came out in 2015. So it's big. I love it because the whole time you're trying to figure out what the heck the scene is and what it's doing and what's going on and what is it, and you get to see each person die each by one except for Arnold to figure out even what the scene is. The whole movie is just about that. And then when he reveals himself, it's just awesome to me.
One of my favorite parts about the movie is all of the lines, all the popular lines.
Yeah.
Even one of my favorites was Stick Around. You know that one?
Yeah, you said it on the last podcast after you said Get to the Chopper. You said stick around.
Yeah. That reminds me when Jet said...
is that in Predator when he does that?
Yes, it's when they're raiding that base, and then the guy pops up behind him with the gun, about to kill him, and then he turns and throws a knife at his head, and it sticks to the wall.
Oh, that's right.
No, it's in his chest, actually.
That's funny because they're called catchphrases or one-liners when they do that kind of stuff. And it's really what Arnold has made a career on as an actor because he's got the ones from Terminator that are so popular. He's got the ones in Predator.
There's a lot in Predator,
Yeah.
isn't there? And, also the stick around thing. I noticed this not that long ago, but when I was playing my game, my character can throw a throwing knife at somebody, and whenever someone's behind me and I turn and throw the knife at their head, and it kills them instantly, I get an award at the top that says "Stick Around."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, okay. Okay.
Are you beatboxing?
Wait, no.
Ricka.
All right, so Dad might disagree with this, but
Yeah, I do.
I think-
Predator 2 sucks.
no.
Yeah.
Predator 2 is my number 2, but just saying.
You have Predator 2 over Predator?
Yeah. All right,
That's like liking Labor Day more than Thanksgiving.
Okay, wait, but hold on. I was gonna say something else. Okay, I like Predator better than Alien.
That's fine. I like Alien a little bit better, probably because the franchise is better. Predator only has one good movie. Alien has 2. But
No.
oh my gosh, you have Predator 2 ranked ahead of Predator? Mm-hmm. What is wrong with you?
I'm gonna slap you so hard.
Okay, you haven't even seen it. You can't say it's better
Okay,
when
listen,
you haven't seen it.
I watched Predator 2 a long time ago, and I didn't even like it back then. And I tried to watch it again recently. I gave it another shot, and I couldn't even finish. I had to turn it off. It is horrible. It is horribly awful.
No, it tells more about the Predator.
Yeah, but it could say the Predator is a Girl Scout. It's not necessarily good things that it just because it's telling more. I like the fact that it was mysterious in the first one. The story was better. The action was better.
There was no story in number 1.
Arnold wasn't even in Predator 2.
So what?
So you can't have him on this list. This is an Arnold list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Idiot.
Disqualified. Oh my God. I'm so mad right now. This is worse than the Thanksgiving or Labor Day over things. Oh my gosh.
What about the sunglasses?
I have Predator. No, that was funny. I'm okay with it.
His sunglasses is awesome.
I have Predator as my number 2. I'll go ahead and talk about it now.
Predator's my number 1.
Do you really?
Yeah.
If you take out all of the sequels and the Alien versus Predator crossovers, the original Predator is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's one of those movies you can watch 1,000 times and just never get tired of. Kate said it has all the one-liners and catchphrases, and like when you think of Arnold, he's perfect for this role. Just walking around the jungle, kicking ass and taking names, and he's the only human that could defeat a Predator one-on-one. Basically, is awesome. And the whole scene when he figures out that the Predator sees infrared, so he covers himself in mud to disguise himself. Just awesome.
All right, so I'll admit, the reviews aren't too good on Predator 2. More people probably like Predator better, but I just like Predator 2 better because, like, my personal opinion, I've seen Mortal Kombat stuff, ripping out skulls, taking their hearts out, feeding it to Melina, eating it up. But so what happens? I like Predator 2 more because to me it's more exciting.
I disagree. The thing is, you like all movies, and you're young, and so you're not like as jaded and critical as I am as an adult, and that's fine. I don't blame you for liking Predator 2. I'm not going to tell you to not like it, but I am upset that you ranked it over Predator.
He's giving me a headache. My sinus
Kate,
hurts now.
you cannot say crap about
did.
it.
I said I've watched it before with Sissy.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
All right, hold on. Tell me what it's about, huh?
It was a while ago.
I
remember glass shattering and guys dressed up really weird with guns walking in circles, and then you see like lasers come. It's just in the buildings and stuff like that. Like
they're in L.A., so there are buildings.
I just found it terrible.
he hunts
Kate,
down
you
like
can't say that.
He hunts
You
down
haven't
like bad guys. Basically, he won't kill women and children, which is silly. Well, he wouldn't kill a pregnant woman anyways. And he skins their bodies almost and hangs them upside down in these buildings, and it's overly gruesome without story to back it up. And the thing is, like, I'm not like shy of the gruesomeness. It's not a big deal, but you got to have a good reason for it. You can't just have it be gruesome to be gruesome. And there's not much else to that movie besides the gore. And Arnold's not even in it. And screw that movie. I don't like it.
The beginning part is I don't like it either.
All right, Kate. Tell the beginning part.
We're talking too much about a movie that doesn't even have Arnold in it.
And you're talking about a movie that Kate hasn't even seen.
He's at least seen some of it. He
about.
remembered there were buildings, so because it's in L.A.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. My number 3, right? We just did yours, which was what, Jet?
Predator.
Okay. My number 3 is Mr. Olympia. You guys know what Mr. Olympia is?
Yeah. No.
It's not a movie. It's a bodybuilding competition. It's basically the world championship for bodybuilders.
They all look the same.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean,
I don't understand how the judges do it. They all look like
the
same muscles.
They have specific things they look for, and some guys, even some guys could train their whole lives and never. They could train harder than Arnold did their entire lives and never catch up to him because of genetics. Like, there are limiting factors, right? But he started bodybuilding at age 15 and spent 1 year in the Austrian army, like all 18-year-old males were required to do. Austria is where he's from. Not Australia, mate, but Austria. He went AWOL, absent without leave. You know what AWOL means?
No.
It's like when you're you're in the military, you're on post. If you leave and you're not supposed to, you go AWOL. It's a very bad thing. He went AWOL during basic training to take part in a competition, a bodybuilding competition, and to be punished for it, he spent 1 week in military prison.
Oh, man.
But he was really dedicated. He loved it. And he would go on to become the youngest Mr. Olympia winner ever at the age of 23. Still hasn't been broken. That was back in 1970. And it was his first of 6 consecutive Mr. Olympia championships. He won 6 years in a row. He retired after the 1975 contest, okay? So then he moved. This was like his ticket to get to America and to do the things he wanted to do to try to become an actor. He learned how to speak English through his training, basically. He came from a very poor family in Austria, and it's not like he was learning to speak English.
He's rich now, definitely
he's very
rich.
now.
Yeah.
But he started training for his first really big role in a movie, which was Conan the Barbarian in 1980, and he got back into really, really great shape for that role. So he decided to come out of retirement. It had been 5 years since his last competition to compete. and he only trained for, I think, 7 weeks, and he won Mr. Olympia again for the 7th time.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty awesome, right? So I couldn't do this list without including the Mr. Olympia contest or his accomplishments in that.
That fell along with my strengths.
Yeah, that's what I was. This is the one that tied to that. So he's really the most important figure in the history of bodybuilding. He became a household name as a bodybuilder, and then an extremely successful actor in Hollywood because of it. It was his ticket to success. It earned him fame in itself. It earned him a ticket to the United States, and it was also the reason he learned to speak English. And none of these movies would have happened without those Mr. Olympia championships.
I don't want his English to improve.
Yeah, you like his accent?
Yeah, I like his accent and like how he misses grammar mistakes and it helps him act.
You make grammar mistakes on this show. Okay. All right, Cade, what's your number 2?
Okay, gotta find my list. Oh, Terminator in total. That's just, we already talked a lot about this.
Hasta la vista,
Baby.
No problemo.
Keep going. What's your number 2?
No problem. Dip.
I
I said
I know
wrong.
what you're talking
Chill
about.
out, dip.
Yeah.
I
That's
said
when
that
he's
wrong.
that's when he's like teaching him phrases he can use, and he says you can like combine them.
Yeah, it goes chill out, dip.
Shh.
It.
All right, okay. Why is it your number 2?
Because it's Terminator and it's all of its glory. It's just amazing, and like I reenact scenes in video games. So
Yeah, it's kind of ingrained in our culture. Jet, you had this as number. Kate, he's picking all of Terminator.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I'm
saving mine.
I have all of Terminator, specifically Terminator 2, but all of it is my number 1.
You mentioned it. That's my number 1. Terminator 2 is my number 1.
Well, I figured it was. I thought you had. Did you have Terminator 1 on your list also?
Yes.
What number was that?
Number 4.
Okay. So you have 2 Terminators, you have 2 Predators, even though one Predator didn't even have Arnold in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Terrible.
Well, I picked.
You haven't seen it.
I picked T2, but the original is also awesome. T2 is one of the greatest sequels of all time. I mean, we should do another 5-1 on
Sequels.
greatest sequels. Terminator 2 would be on my list. I can tell you that for sure right now. It's one of those movies that very rarely, not the case in Predator, very rarely is better than the first movie in the franchise. You could say that for maybe Star Wars. Like a lot of people think Empire is better than Star Wars. You could say it for The Godfather. You could maybe say it for Aliens.
I like.
But for me, Terminator's clear cut. T2 is a better movie than T1.
Right. Okay, hold on. This is completely random, but I think I have a problem.
Okay.
I forgot to decide what our next episode is going to be on.
I'll do it this time. Okay.
Okay.
But he has to say it. So tell him like, go around the camera and tell him like.
Around the camera,
We don't even have a camera.
I mean,
behind the scenes.
tilt your head around the microphone so you can't hear it, and whisper it quietly, and put your hand on the side where all the microphones are so they can't hear you whisper, and then he can say it.
Okay, I'll do that. All right, so he nails that robot role perfectly, but he infuses just the right amount of humor into it. Some of the lines we were talking
Humor.
about before.
It's
He's
not
just
humor.
he's great in this role. So yeah, that's my number 1, Terminator 2.
What?
Nothing.
I heard. Come on, shit.
He said, "Come with me if you want to."
Oh,
live.
I mumbled it. Mumble. All right, so can I explain why it's my number 1?
Come with me if you want to live.
But you did the Arnold version of that line because he says it too, right?
It's better when he says it.
It is. He says it when he breaks into the asylum where
And
Sarah
Sarah's
Connor.
freaking out, and then
Yeah.
he goes, "Come with me if you want to live."
She's
I
like
like
running
that part
through
when
the
the guy
hallways.
drops his cigarette on the ground out of his mouth. He's like, and like he opens his mouth, his jaw goes down, and then
from
his,
the liquid guy.
yeah, and then his cigarette like falls out of his mouth.
I love a lot of parts of that movie, but I really love the beginning when Arnold first gets there and he's walking naked into that like biker bar, and like the chicks are like checking him out, right? And the guys are like, "What the heck is going on?"
And then a guy stabs him, and there's a guy.
Well, he puts out a cigarette on his chest,
Yeah.
and Arnold doesn't even flinch, and he's like, "Uh-oh." And Arnold proceeds to like kick the crap out of him. He throws him into the kitchen, and he's like, he lands on the hot grill, and he's like climbing on it.
And also, he stabs the guy. The guy's with the pole stick is like, "Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I
Yeah,
don't care.
that guy-
I don't care. I don't care."
That guy's like the first smart guy. And then the bartender or the owner or whatever comes out when Arnold's about to leave, and he's like, "I can't let you take his bike."
And then he just took the shotgun.
takes the gun, and then he takes the guy's sunglasses and
And then
puts
he
them
wears
on.
it on the night.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wears sunglasses at night.
That whole sequence is awesome. It sets up the movie perfectly to show you like just how badass Arnold is and how badass his character is in this role.
Like Daryl.
Like Daryl Dixon. Mm-hmm. Well, not quite the same, but I get what you're saying.
Arnold is a little cooler.
Yeah, well, Terminator is.
All right, so Terminator 2. Wait, no, I don't have a number 2 because I already explained it. But Terminator 2 is my favorite. Is for my number 1 because I grew up in Star Wars, but for some of the part, when I got a little older, I grew up on Terminator. Like when I went to my preschool and the party, it was near Halloween, and I had the sunglasses, a black jacket, a black shirt, and black pants and black shoes. Came there with a shotgun, and then the teacher goes, "What are you?" And my mom was there. He goes, "Oh, he's a Terminator." And I showed up when a lot of people I don't know were like fairies and stuff, and I was freaking Terminator.
I remember that.
I
I saw some pictures of everybody. It's like a Ninja Turtle and a Power Ranger,
and I came as a Terminator.
And then there's you with like guns on.
Yeah, he had like bullets strapped across him, and the leather jacket, and his hair slicked back. And you were a zombie, and your costume that year was really cool too.
And you danced at Justin Timberlake.
No, that's right. You had that suit. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And
we still have that suit?
No, we had to throw it away. We had to like cut it up and stuff to make it look like you had crawled out of a grave, basically.
Oh.
And you had the awesome makeup. I have pictures from that. They're like my favorite Halloween pictures where tiny little Jet is the Terminator standing with a shotgun pointed at you as a zombie, and you're like walking towards him like you're going to eat him.
I was like,
yeah, that was a fun Halloween.
I love that. And this is kind of random, but I wondered, what if a facesucker went on a Terminator? I mean, like,
it wouldn't. I don't think it would work because
Yeah.
the Terminators
is not living.
Well, they have living tissue on the outside of their metal skeleton, but they don't have like a heart and a stomach and the organs that the alien facesucker uses to like lay eggs or whatever it does. So it wouldn't work. The only living tissue they have is basically the flesh on the outside of their metal skeleton.
Who knows where they get that from?
Yeah, but I would say Terminator has been a big part of your life for a long time, and I have some evidence of this because what year was it when Casey came to visit us and he stayed at our house in Frisco?
I don't remember.
So he came. It was several years ago, Jet. You were probably 3 or 4 years old. Cade was wrestling, and Casey came to us to one of the tournaments. In fact, it was. Do you remember, Cade, how they used to have 2 weeks between regionals and state?
Yeah.
And then that middle week, Alan would have like a tournament just as it didn't count for anything really, but it was just to stay on the mat and prepare for state. Well, he came to that tournament. You wrestled Sean Rincars.
I remember that.
And there was a kid from Arkansas who was a state champ there who came in, and I had no idea who he was, and I was nervous because I wanted Casey to come and see you win, right? Because he had heard all these great things about you, and I was like, oh, great, now you got this kid who I don't know, and Sean's already really tough, right?
Yeah.
You proceeded to tech fall the kid from Arkansas, and you beat Sean it was a good match. You didn't blow him out. I mean, it was a tight match, but you won. And while you were wrestling, Casey sat in the stands in the bleachers with Jet, and Jet like talked his ear off. Jet and Casey were buddies on this trip, and he told him all about Die Hard and how John McClane, or the bad guy from Die Hard 3, is the brother from the bad guy in Die Hard 1, and he also talked to him about Terminator quite a bit, right?
I was talking to him about Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm sure you talked to him about Boba Fett too, but
I
I know
remember,
Terminator was part of it. And then just this, and that was years ago, right? And then just a couple days ago, when we went, maybe it was yesterday, when we went and ate dinner with Granny and Hayden.
That was
and Camille.
yesterday.
Okay, so Jet rode with his grandmother, who we call Granny. It's my mother. And I had the 2 boys, Kate and Hayden. And my sister, Shelly, who the boys call Mimi, had their cousin Camille, her daughter.
Yeah.
And so we took 3 cars to get there. So we all get there, and as soon as we get out, Granny comes to me and she goes, man, I just heard an earful. I learned a lot today. Jet talked to me the whole time. He was telling me how he woke up at 8:02 in the morning, and he told me all about Terminator and what order he likes him in and blah, 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 blah. So it's been like...
And Daryl.
So it's been like 6 or 7 years, and you're still having the same conversations with people, which is cool. I like that about you, Jet.
Yeah.
All right, so I've gone through all of mine. Do you guys have any left? Any on your list? We kind of hopped around.
Yeah, I have honorable mentions.
Do you have any honorable mentions, Cade?
No, actually, yes. I kind of just added this in the middle. I was thinking about it, and so this is my one honorable mention, and this is hilarious. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's Instagram. Okay, he'll
Okay.
he'll post like Snapchat stories of him singing. Like he was with like Ariana Grande at like a party or something, and they were singing "Break Free," and Arnold was singing,
Okay.
and it was awesome. I can't.
I wish I
reenact
had
it.
that video to pull up right now. Is it on YouTube?
I don't think so. I don't know.
It's on his Instagram.
Yeah, somewhere down in his thousands of posts, but it's awesome. He's a fun guy, I think.
Okay.
Outside of, because I'll see other people, like celebrities and stuff on my Instagram feed that'll be like taking pictures with him, stuff like that, and he seems nice. So
Go ahead, Jet. You really wanted to say something.
All right, so I actually do have a next episode on my list.
Okay, well, we're not there yet.
Yeah,
so
I'm just saying.
Okay, because I have a whole spreadsheet up here that you never look at of all these ideas I came up with. Is it another movie one?
No.
Is it a TV show?
It's an outside one.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Yeah, Arnold. Jet and I were talking about this. Kate, how tall do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger is?
I'm guessing 5'7".
Really? Because all actors are short. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Like
He's
Tom
taller
Cruise.
than that. When he competed, he was listed at 6'1", and he's still listed as 6'1" on his like profile,
Yeah.
as an actor. But most people think he's actually 5'11". If I were to guess, I would have said he's like 6'2", 6'3", maybe 6'4". He looks huge to me, right?
Camera tricks.
I'm 6 foot, right? So 6'1", he'd be an inch taller than me. That really surprised me. At 5'11", he'd be an inch shorter than me, and that really surprises me. So
Yeah. Standing right next to Arnold, smaller than you.
Like
on
if
an
you look at the
Instagram
pictures
post.
and stuff like that, he seems like big, strong dude. Like I expect
he's
him
got
to be taller
muscles.
than me.
He's got
Like
muscles
It's called
everywhere.
camera tricks.
Yeah, they do a lot of camera. Like Tom Cruise is actually like 5'7". Is that yeah?
Really?
Cade's got a big shocked look on his face. Yeah, he's a short guy. A lot of actors are, even though they look. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. He's actually not that tall.
Really?
Yeah.
did you see that one picture? Forgot who it was. But it was Gabby Douglas standing next to a basketball player.
Yeah, yeah. Was it Gabby Douglas or was it Simone Biles?
Oh, it's Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Simone Biles?
She was the
girl that's like as
gymnast that
tall as
won
me.
all the gold medals this past year. in
Oh,
Rio.
her.
Yeah.
And
She's awesome. Although I like Allie Raceman better. Evan will appreciate that, but Evan doesn't listen to her podcast, so never mind.
Wait.
What's it called? Yeah, Simone Biles. How tall is she again? Like 4'8"?
Yeah, she's tiny. All those gymnasts are tiny. She's like your height,
Oh, what?
which is crazy, right? Because you're small for your age.
I think she's a little taller than you.
I don't think so. Okay,
Dang.
I just got a text from Nick. Hopefully you guys couldn't hear the text tone on that.
I didn't hear it.
Okay,
I did.
You heard it a little bit. The BB-8 squeak. Okay, so Jet, you got any honorable mentions?
Yes.
What do you got?
I'm not going to talk about it. It's 3 and 5 Terminator.
They're all Terminators, 3 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay, but not 4.
Oh, never mind.
I know you don't like 4 that much. I don't like 3 that much.
I like 4, but I like 4. It's just I don't like it as much as the others.
Yeah, I hear you.
I like in 4 when that guy's trying to escape out of the pit of people. He's like,
That part
and
is
then Terminator
really
looks
cool.
over and just
Yeah,
and kills him.
I don't like 4 as much because it's so different.
it is very different. I don't like 3 very much because I didn't like the actor who played
girl?
John Connor. No, the girl was fine. That's Claire Danes. I like her actually. I didn't like the guy who played John Connor. He
Why?
didn't fit for me. I don't
And
know.
he said it when he said, "Come if you want to live."
He said it wrong.
Yeah, he's like, "Come if you want to live."
For my honorable mentions, I had Total Recall. I had Kindergarten Cop. I have 2 that we didn't really talk about. They're both 80s action movies. The Running Man and Commando. Commando.
I heard Commando's just straight up guns.
Yeah, it's like a
shooting,
Rambo
guns.
kind of movie. It's a good action flick. I mean, it's worth watching. The Running Man is more of a sci-fi futuristic. Not that Running Man, Cade. No. It's like a sci-fi futuristic action film, and it's watchable. Also, I had the fact that he was governor of California for 8 years. Crazy,
What?
right? California's like a very liberal state, and he was a Republican governor for 8 years. He was elected twice, or maybe 3 times. I think twice, which is crazy to me.
Wait, who are you
Arnold
talking
was the governor of California for 8 years.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he didn't make movies between 2003 and 2011 because he was the governor of California.
Oh my
Wait.
god!
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
I wouldn't expect him even being in the agency.
In the agency?
Yeah.
Like the government, you mean?
Yeah, agency.
Well,
Politics and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think at one point he even made a comment that he wanted to run for president, which he shouldn't be able to do by our own rules. You have to be an American. You have to be born in America, and he was not. He was born in Austria. But he was going to try to get the rule changed and run for president at one point. And then he had
I would vote for him.
Well, he had some like scandal that kind of got him like kicked out of office. It wasn't a political scandal, but a personal life scandal that, it wasn't good for his image.
He'd be still better than the candidates
Than the
this
current
year.
candidates? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. He'd be... No comment. You might be right. Okay, let's move on. Cade, what do you have as the worst?
I could not think of anything because I love everything Arnold, but I just had to put Terminator 3.
He was barely in it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he was in that one, wasn't he?
He was in that a lot.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Terminator 4.
Yeah, he's only in the end. And 4, he's only in the end.
At the very end. But when he comes in the end, it's awesome.
Yeah, and number 4, he looks so good for his age.
He does.
in
He
there.
got in great shape for that.
He looks like a number 1, and it's a number 4. That's amazing.
Yeah. So 3, he is in that one, but it's my least favorite Terminator movie.
And I had to put it as, I still like it, but I can't put it on my...
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of anything else.
My worst is number 4 because...
Terminator 4?
Yeah, because it's just it's different, and I didn't really like the story. The guy realizes he's a Terminator all along, and there's a bunch of new characters. John Connor's in it that much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For me, easy choice. Batman and Robin, he plays Mr. Freeze, and it is god-awful.
Wait, really?
It is horrible. The whole movie's horrible, but he might be the worst part of it. He has the worst one-line. His one-liners that work in other movies don't work in this movie. It's awful. I can't. It made me cringe. It's cringy, as you kids like to say these days. Very cringy. All right. Shout outs. I have a shout out this week, right? We have another regular listener. He doesn't comment on Facebook, but he talks to me about it, and he shares it with his family members, and that would be your grandpa, Glenn Solomon. Faithfully listens to our podcast and shares it with his family members in the Philippines. And I get comment when we went for the funeral not too long ago.
Yeah.
I had people coming up to me saying, "Hey, I listened to your podcast. You guys are awesome. It sounds like a real radio show. Your boys are so smart, and I love listening to them talk and blah, blah, blah." And that's all because of Grandpa.
All right, sweet.
Thanks, Grandpa. We love you. You guys want to say anything to Grandpa?
Thank you so
Hello?
much. It makes me feel like when Scares got a ton of subscribers
Shut
in 1
up.
month, and he feels awesome. He's not getting any hate, at all.
I don't
That's
like
what Grandpa
scares.
liking your podcast makes you feel
I mean,
like?
when
Scares
someone
is
likes
weird.
our stuff,
Yeah.
it makes me feel like that.
People are so weird. They think this is funny. Hey guys, it's Skace here.
Hey, guys,
Let's not talk about this because nobody knows what you guys are talking about. It's just going to be you guys arguing about
I
something.
don't know what it is. He just says it and he thinks it's funny.
Cade likes a lot of dumb stuff. He's at that age. It's just, I loved Beavis and Butthead when I was Cade's age, and that
What
thing.
is Beavis and Butthead?
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, you would. So Grandpa, shut out. Thanks, Grandpa.
All right.
All right. So that's it. Thanks to everybody for taking your time to listen.
Is
Check
this
out.
our shortest episode?
Yeah, I think it is, and that's good.
No, I think the last one was shorter.
It was like 40 minutes. Oh, yeah. We're right at the 42-minute mark right now. But check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/5to1podcast, or tweet us at 5to1podcast. Give us your opinions there. Let us know why you think you're right. We're right about Arnold, or what we forgot about Arnold, or whatever. We want your opinion. Nick left us a great comment on our episode about the fall. So you two don't get on Facebook. I think I read it to Jet. You need to get on there and check it out and interact with our listeners some more, because they're taking the time to comment on our stuff. You guys should take the time to at least read it and comment back. I know you don't get on Facebook, Cade, but do it at least for the 5-to-1. I made you an admin on our page. You can go right to it and see the comments on there.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I'll post I'll post Instagram. So
We don't have an Instagram.
I don't know. I'll just say go listen to my podcast.
Okay, but what I'm saying is when people comment on our Facebook page, you should interact with them on our Facebook page.
Okay, I'm not very good with interacting people over the internet. It's usually you're a scrub noob, get out of here, kill yourself.
That's not what happens with adults, okay?
Okay.
All right, so take the time to give us a review on iTunes. I haven't checked our iTunes reviews in the past couple weeks. I should go on there and do it, but it helps us out a ton, and we appreciate all the feedback. And you can write to us at 5to1podcast@gmail.com. So, Jet, please join us next time on 5-to-1 for our discussion on
Top 5 best themes about camping.
Okay, we can do that.
That's a good one.
I like that.
It's
And
different.
it's camping time of year. Cade just went camping, so he can comment on that. Yeah.
Ah.
Also,
Get your ass to Moss.
Stop it.
okay. That's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
What? I don't know what you're telling me to do, Cade.
Okay. I really want to say 2 words right now, but I can't.
You can't, but there is something that you usually close out our show with.
I know. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna forget.
Get your mouth in front of the microphone and say it.
Don't.
I love you.
Get your ass to Moss.